Okay. Let's discuss the implications for teachers. No, the implications of the ideas related to neuroscience and brain development. Okay, the implication of these ideas for the teachers. For educators, this knowledge emphasizes the need to create stimulating and supportive learning environments that actively engage students' brains. Classroom experiences such as problem-solving tasks, group work, and opportunities for creative expression encourage the formation of new neural connections, strengthening cognitive skills. Moreover, positive reinforcement through praise, rewards, or encouragement helps motivate students and fosters a positive learning atmosphere, enhancing their cognitive and emotional development. Understanding the developing brain also means recognizing students' developmental stages. For example, while younger students benefit from sensory activities and language-rich environments, adolescents may need guidance in decision making, emotional regulation, and long-term planning. Recognizing these developmental needs enables educators to tailor their teaching approaches to support brain growth and optimize learning outcomes during these critical periods of development. Now, let's have the factors affecting biological, physical development. Biological and physical development is shaped by multiple factors that interact with one another, including heredity, nutrition, healthcare, and the surrounding environment. Now, let's start with the heredity. Heredity refers to the genetic blueprint inherited from biological parents, which influences traits like height, weight, and potential for certain health conditions. However, genes only set the foundation. How a child develops is also determined by external influences. Nutrition plays a critical role in ensuring proper physical growth and development. A child's diet needs to provide essential nutrients, including vitamins, minerals, and proteins, for muscle and bone development, brain function, and overall health. Okay, so these nutrients are very important for muscle and bone development, brain function, and overall health. Children facing malnutrition, particularly during critical growth periods like infancy and adolescence, are at risk for stunted growth, weakened immune systems, and delayed cognitive development. For instance, deficiencies in iron and iodine can impair brain function, leading to difficulties in learning and memory retention. Let's have healthcare. Healthcare is another key factor that affects physical development. Access to regular medical checkups, vaccinations, and treatment for illnesses ensures that children stay healthy and grow as expected. Lack of healthcare can result in untreated conditions that impede both physical and mental development, such as hearing impairments or vision problems that go unnoticed and impact learning. Environmental conditions, including socioeconomic status, have far-reaching effects on a child's development. Families living in poverty often have limited access to nutritious food, healthcare, and safe living conditions, all of which can negatively impact a child's growth. Children in low-income families are more likely to experience chronic stress from financial instability, unsafe neighborhoods, or family disruptions. Chronic stress releases cortisol. Okay, chronic stress releases cortisol, a hormone that can impair brain development, weaken the immune system, and increase the likelihood of behavioral and emotional challenges. Additionally, family dynamics, including parenting styles, emotional support, and family stability, play an important role. Children raised in nurturing environments where they receive consistent care, attention, and emotional support tend to experience healthier development. In contrast, children exposed to neglect, abuse, or family conflict may experience developmental delays and emotional difficulties. As teachers, it is essential to recognize that students come from diverse backgrounds with varying levels of access to resources that support their biological development. Some students may face obstacles like poor nutrition or stress at home, which can affect their ability to focus, participate, and succeed in school. By being aware of these external factors, educators can create inclusive and supportive learning environments that accommodate these diverse developmental needs. This may involve providing additional support to students who are lagging behind in physical or cognitive development, or offering resources like counseling, extra academic assistance, or healthy meals. Understanding these factors helps educators practice empathy and be more proactive in addressing the challenges students face, ensuring that all learners have equal opportunities to reach their developmental potential. Now, let's have the theories of biological development. Okay, so let's start with the developmental milestones by Arnold Jessel. For those who do not know him yet, so let me introduce him. So, Arnold Jessel was an American psychologist and pediatrician, best known for his pioneering work in child development. He is recognized for creating one of the first systematic approaches to studying the physical, emotional, and cognitive development of children. Giselle developed the concept of developmental milestones, which refers to predictable stages of growth and development that most children follow at particular ages. Arnold Jessel's theory of developmental milestones emphasizes the role of maturation in child development, suggesting that growth occurs in a predetermined sequence, largely governed by genetic factors. Giselle identified typical age-related stages of physical and motor development, such as when a child begins to roll over, sit up, or walk. These milestones serve as benchmarks to measure whether a child is developing on track. Giselle's theory suggests that while external factors like environment and experience can influence a child's development, the primary driver of growth is biological maturation. For example, a child's ability to walk usually emerges